have a great relationship with the blacks. I've always had a great relationship with the blacks.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. I'm a die-hard Trump supporter. In my household, you got Martin Luther King, you got Jesus, and you got Donald Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, the trash that Charleston, Uncle Charlie White, just let spill from his mouth is the result of his father not raising him right, or raising him at all, for that matter. Too many black men are not in their children's lives, which, of course, has led to many problems in our community. Girls grow into women that view their only worth to men through the lens of their sexuality. Boys grow into men that see their only value to women as financial support. That's the reason some black celebrities, with weak minds, but strong thoughts, found their white daddy when they saw the disgraced, twice impeached, 4 times indicted, former President, Donald Trump. We'll let Uncle Charlie try to explain his love for the most racist president this country has seen, since Woodrow Wilson, and then we'll return with the facts.
You got Martin Luther King, you got Jesus, and you got Donald Trump. Wait a minute. Not in that particular order, but you got Martin Luther King, Jesus, and Donald Trump.
Why you got Donald Trump? You know, well, I'm a straight Democrat, but I'm for the best person.
Yes, sir.
Now, why you got Donald Trump?
Because I paid attention in school when I was a kid, and so I know the true history of both the Republican and Democratic Party. I know that they really didn't switch during the Nixon Southern strategy. That one became more clever than the other in dealing with black people. We the Democrats niggers. We got away. We were the Republicans' friends. We was their friends, but we were the Democrats niggers. When you look at the origins of the Ku Klux Klan, it originated out of the Democratic Party.
The Ku Klux Klan?
It did.
Okay.
Every civil rights legislation that ever has been passed in this country was authored, written, sponsored, and voted on 100% by Republicans and not Democrats. Every civil rights legislation.
What you gonna do?
So let me finish my Trump. Right. So as a kid, I remember being 6, 7 years old and seeing Donald Trump receiving an award with Muhammad Ali, Rosa Parks from the NAACP. Not only that, he engaged and interacted in our culture from the 80s throughout the 90s and even the 2000s, from rappers to Michael Jackson. So when we looked out into our culture, his face appeared many, many times. So for me to grow up now and then hear the media, because before the media started saying he was racist, I never heard a black leader say it. I never heard my grandmother say it. I never heard no one even mention anything bad about him other than rappers giving him praise in over 300 to 600 rap songs. So for the media to say, oh, he's racist, I knew they were playing con on us. And I can remember when America was great. I can remember when black children could play outside all day long and you didn't hear about kids being kidnapped. You didn't hear about drive-by shootings. I remember when black people celebrated Juneteenth. We ate together on Sunday. That was great during those times. So I remember when America was great. And you're talking to a 46-year-old man who's first generation kid who got to experience Dr. King's dream of going to school and holding hands and living next door to white people. Black people really didn't do that in the 70s. They done it in the 80s when I grew up.
Like people don't remember, nobody ever heard of it until I came along. Nobody remembered it for a long time, or they didn't use it, at least. I use it all the time. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. You know, you say that, people say, I didn't know that.
Uncle Charlie falsely claims that he paid attention in school when he was a kid, so he knows the true history of both the Democratic and Republican parties. Obviously, that's a lie. He's one of the idiots that Trump is talking about that didn't know Abraham Lincoln was a Republican until Trump got elected, instead of learning that fact in the 4th or 5th grade. Yes, after the Civil War, the Ku Klux Klan was started by Southern Democrats. Over 150 years ago, in 1865. And no, every civil rights legislation that has passed in this country was not authored, sponsored, and voted on 100% by Republicans, so Uncle Charlie needs to shut his dumb ass the fuck up and listen. The longest continuous debate in Senate history took place in 1964 over the Civil Rights Act. Following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, who had proposed the legislation, it was strongly advocated by his successor, Lyndon B. Johnson. Addressing a joint session of Congress just after Kennedy's death, Johnson urged members of Congress to honor Kennedy's memory by passing a civil rights bill to end racial discrimination and segregation in public accommodations, public education, and federally assisted programs. In his remarks to Congress, Johnson declared, "We have talked long enough in this country about equal rights. We have talked for 100 years or more. It is time now to write the next chapter, and to write it in the books of law." The Democratic Party held huge majorities in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, including a large contingent of Southern segregationists. The 1964 Civil Rights Act passed the House with 153 Democratic votes and 136 Republican votes. With 6 wavering senators providing a 4-vote margin of victory, the final tally stood at 71 to 29. 44 Democrats and 27 Republicans joined forces to support the Civil Rights Bill. They were opposed by nay votes from 6 Republicans and 21 Democrats. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was one of the most consequential pieces of legislation in American history. Like the Voting Rights Act of 1965 and Medicare for senior citizens, it was a pillar of Lyndon Johnson's Great Society. The Civil Rights Act also had a profound effect on the American political landscape, triggering a reshaping that still influences the fortunes of Democrats and Republicans, particularly in the South. A brilliant political analyst, Johnson foresaw the consequences of his civil rights legislation on the day he signed it into law. He is said to have remarked, "We've lost the South for a generation." In actuality, journalist Bill Moyers said Johnson told him, "Well, I think we may have lost the South for your lifetime, and mine." Whatever words Johnson used expressed the same sentiment. Southern segregationists would no longer vote for the Democratic Party because a Democratic president ended Southern segregation. The Southern strategy refers to Richard Nixon's political strategy to forego political support from black people, and to gain the support of the disaffected Southern Democrats, during the presidential elections of 1964. The story behind the party of Lincoln, turning into the party of Jefferson Davis is a long one, and Uncle Charlie isn't the person to tell it, because he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Every civil rights legislation that ever has been passed in this country was authored, written, sponsored, and voted on 100% by Republicans and not Democrats. I remember being 6, 7 years old and seeing Donald Trump receiving an award with Muhammad Ali, Rosa Parks, from the NAACP.
Alright, let's debunk another one of Uncle Charlie's lies, but before we do, please put some pressure on that like button, and subscribe for more from us. Trump did not receive an NAACP award, alongside Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali. In 1986, Trump, Parks, and Ali all received the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. As reported by the New York Times, a week and a half before the 1986 ceremony, 80 Americans, from 42 ethnic groups, were named yesterday as recipients of the Ellis Island Medal of Honor, by the Statue of Liberty Ellis Island Foundation. The list of recipients describes Trump as German developer, Parks as African American activist, and Ali as African American boxer. Otto Koka, communications director for the Ellis Island Honor Society, told Reuters via email that the society's current administration maintains that Donald Trump's Ellis Island Medal of Honor was exclusively presented in acknowledgement of his German heritage and his contributions to the city of New York as a developer, business leader, and job creator. To the best of the current administration's knowledge, EIHS has no record suggesting Donald Trump received the medal for any issues relating to race or for helping inner-city youth, Koka added. Koka explained that in 1986, Trump was a young, successful businessman who often showed up at society events around New York City. Trump was not honored with an award from the NAACP or any other organization, alongside Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali, for their work relating to race. Not only does Uncle Charlie have his facts wrong, the nigga is straight up lying about watching an NAACP ceremony with his grandmother when he was 6 or 7 years old. Uncle Charlie was born in 1970, so, in 1986, Uncle Charlie was 16 years old, not 6 years old, but like I said before, the man has the mind of a little black boy searching for his white daddy, and he found him in Donald Trump.
Ruckus, how could you possibly love white people so much?
It's easy. Have you ever looked at them? White man just a joy to be around. They smell like lemon juice and pledge furniture cleaner. And look at them, they gave us discipline, jobs, put structure in our lives, took us out the jungle. And what we do to show our appreciation? We march up and down the street. We vote. Carry on in great.
But I want to know why you wore that Trump hat in here. Tell me about the Trump hat.
I'm a die-hard Trump supporter. In my household, you got Martin Luther King, you got Jesus, and you got Donald Trump.
Wait a minute.
Not in that particular order, but yeah, you got Martin Luther King, Jesus, and Donald Trump.